as it's Friday, we're still doing our usual things, of course. We've got Mind the Gap underway and loads of new movies come out today. So it is time to chat to Van Connor, our movie critic, about some of the movies he's seen. So then, here we go. Friday. Welcome back to the show, Van Connor. It sounds a little bit different today.
It does a bit. And I will say, Adam, if there's anyone on earth I had faith in to spend 4 hours running a mile, it was you, sir. It was you, hands down.
I wondered if you were going to say that. So we've got one new movie to talk about today that you have already seen, but then you've also chosen a selection of movies, a plethora of movies that involve running in some sense in the title or in the movie. So we'll talk about those in a second. But where do you want to start?
Well, I want to start intergalactically. I want to start in the cosmos with Captain Marvel, Photon, and Ms. Marvel. It's, of course, The Marvels, which is out today. I've been coming for a while. This is co-written and directed by Nia DaCosta, who gave us the Candyman reboot from about 4 years ago, the really good Jordan Peele one, Jordan Peele produced one. Here she's taken the reins for what's not so much a Captain Marvel sequel, so much as it's a Marvel crossover movie that features all of the female Captain Marvel adjacent characters. So you have Captain Marvel herself returning for her second feature film. You have Photon, who debuted in WandaVision, the series on Disney Plus, who's played by Teyonah Parris, who was the young child niece of Captain Marvel in the 1990s and is now a hero in her own right, powered hero in her own right. And then you've got Ms. Marvel, Kamala Khan, played by Iman Vellani, who steals this movie. And the three are forced to team up when a new villain who has similarly themed powers causes them to become entangled so that every time they use their powers, they swap places in time and space. So they can literally be having a fight and then vanish and another one of them will appear in their place. I've got a clip for you, and this is Teyonah Parris's Photon explaining to her long-lost aunt, Captain Marvel, exactly what the hell is going on.
Hi, Captain Marvel.
It is so good to see you, Lieutenant Trouble.
You too. And it's Captain Rambo now.
Right. Sorry. So what's new?
Where's my sister?
Yeah.
I'm thinking that our joint exposure to these unsteady jump points and our susceptibility to electromagnetic energy has temporarily entangled our world lines.
Yeah, that right there.
Entanglement, our light powers are entangled, so we switch places whenever we use them at the same time. Which would mean Kamala.
When did you get powers?
I walked through a radiation shielding barrier of a witch hex, and now I can manipulate and see all wavelengths of the electromagnetic spectrum.
I mean, it's kind of what you'd expect from a new Marvel movie as far as that clip goes, Van. But big question here. Is this a standalone movie, or do you have to watch every single Marvel movie to understand what on earth's going on in this?
I mean, you know for a fact that I have watched every single Marvel movie several times over. I'm literally reading a book right now called MCU, The Reign of Marvel Studios, the one that's been in all the news articles recently, which is very good, by the way. So I've seen all of this, and I'll be honest with you, I had trouble caring. It's not that I couldn't follow it, I just didn't care that much. I wasn't really invested. I mean, you get a lot of, for instance, you've got Kamala Khan. Even if you followed Ms. Marvel, Kamala Khan now seemingly has new powers. Even if you followed WandaVision, you've now got this character whose place in all of this you're not really sure of. I think she works for Nick Fury, but yeah. And then you've got Captain Marvel herself, who you don't really quite know what the story is there. She's got a new nickname. She's the Annihilator. There's all the events of Secret Invasion have happened, which seems to undermine her purpose. I think it's faintly hinted at that she may have massacred a bunch of people, which is a very un-Marvel-y thing to do, it has to be said. But speaking of un-Marvel-y things to do, getting tied down in your own continuity and polishing out something to the effect of Thor: The Dark World, that's decidedly un-Marvel, because they only ever did it once, and the only time they came close, they had to get the same franchise to sign up the New Zealand guy to ruin it a second time, after already doing it better the first time. So Marvel's not on a great ground right now, and this is not helping. Like, this is just not an involving movie. It feels like, to use the TV parlance, a mid-season, two-parter, three-star adventure at best, minimally held together with charm, some directorial swagger, and an MVP performance from Ms. Marvel star Iman Vellani, who she's just going to be a big thing. She's going to be huge, this girl. Honestly, she's going to be massive. Just get stock in her now, because you will be seeing a lot of her face.
Well, if you want to make your own mind up, you can go and see The Marvels because it is out in cinemas from today. All right then, Van, we've got a couple of minutes to talk about movies that involve running. We asked you to come up with a few because obviously that's the theme of today's show here, live from the Iffley running track where Sir Roger Bannister ran the first 4-minute mile back in 1954. So what have you got for us, Van? What have you got?
Do you know, I've got a few good ones for you, actually. So Brittany runs a marathon. I'm a big fan of that. I figure, obviously, after today, you're going to want to go home, switch your telly on, and watch something about running after 4 hours of running, Adam. So, Brittany runs a marathon. I thought it'd be great for you. That's very much bucking the trend. The idea is you've got a character who just really is a sort of every woman, a contemporary every woman, just works in an office, likes a pumpkin spice latte more than a protein shake, and she gets into, she tries to understand what is the crack with running. Like, how are these people getting into it? And it's quite realistic and fun, and I really like it. Another good one, and this is the Jesse Owens biopic, Race, starring Stephen James and Ted Lasso star Jason Sudeikis.
Oh, I've not seen that.
That's worth watching. That is really good, obviously based on the true story, as is Chariots of Fire. You can't talk about running and not talk about Chariots of Fire. That's unmissable. Nigel Havers, Ben Cross, Alice Krieger, iconic score, and everyone remembers our secrets of them running on the beach with the music. There's that. I'm going to throw you a curveball because it does involve running, but not in the way you think. Cool Runnings, because they were runners that became bobsledders. So
yeah, but that fits nicely with today, Van, because obviously we're doing this without really doing this. If you see what I mean.
Well, there is also
I like that. Cool Runnings.
There's also,
of
course, Rocky. There's Rocky. Rocky's got the most iconic run